Good evening and welcome to another episode of Face to Face. Yours truly, Nesta Cann, alongside Elena Rizik.
Hello.
And today we have a special guest in the studio with us today. She goes by the name of Erica Watson. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
What's going on? What's new?
Lots of things are new. There's always new things with me. The newest thing is I'm actually relaunching my wig line. I have a wig line and a hair collection. And originally, I created it for my clients.
Okay.
I am a single hairstylist in my own salon. And so I got a lot of complaints from my clients that I'm never available because there's a lot of them. And I like to travel and I have a family. Oh, wow. So originally, when I came up with the wig collection, it was for them. Because...
Yeah, here you go. Take a look closer.
Thank you. Originally, when I came up with the collection, it was for them to hold them over for those times when maybe I wasn't available and they had like an urgent matter. But I felt like that also encouraged them to start neglecting their hair. So I was like, took a step back from it, but now I'm relaunching it, and it's not just for my clients, it's for everyone. Doing a lot of custom looks.
Yeah.
Definitely gearing towards natural looks. A lot of people are afraid of wigs because some of them look bad. I've seen a lot. So my focus with this particular collection is just to provide a natural look. I'm actually wearing one now. A lot of people think it's my hair.
Like
I totally thought it was
it's mine because it's on me.
Right.
But so this is just an example.
Yeah.
Like, women want to feel confident, especially about our hair.
Right.
And the last thing you want to think about is someone's going to know you're wearing a wig when you are. So that's what I'm specializing in now. And I'm excited for it. Like, I'm excited to just express myself creatively. I'm so used to being in the salon and doing what clients particularly request from me. So with this wig line now, I'm able to touch into my creative side again and just create whatever is going on in my head. And if someone likes it or loves it, then they can purchase it.
Nice. So how did you come up with the idea for your business, the concept? You know,
which one? So I can take you through that. I have been natural now for over 12 years, and originally it wasn't really a decision. It's something that just kind of happened.
Right.
Shortly after I had my son, my hair grew a lot. I was excited, and I was like, okay, I'm going to color it. So I colored it. I waited a few weeks, and then I relaxed it because I was used to relaxing it, but I took a break while I was pregnant, and my hair fell out. And it was traumatic. But I was like, okay, this must be a sign from God. You need to leave the creamy crack alone. Like, no more relaxing. So when I decided to do that, there weren't as many options as there are now. It was kind of difficult. I was natural before it was like cute to be natural, like a thing.
Yeah.
So I also was starting a corporate job where you had to have a particular look. So I learned a lot of my expertise just through me. And I was working for Seamless, the online food ordering company, and a lot of acquisitions were going on, and I felt like I didn't have much job security anymore. So I took one of those quizzes online that'll say, like, figure out what you should be doing with your life. And it said that I should be doing something in the arts. And I was like, the arts? Like, how am I going to get paid doing something in the arts? Like, that's going to be interesting. And I don't know. I had like an epiphany moment, and I was like, I should do hair, because I had been doing hair all my life, pretty much. Throughout high school, I used to cut class and do people's hair. That was how I made my little lunch money to buy food. Like, and then when I got to college, same deal. My room was kind of like the room you could come to if you couldn't find any place to get your hair done. And I was like, something must be going on with this hair thing. Like, I actually can make a career out of this. So I enrolled in beauty school, and I worked full-time during the day. I went to school at night. I had my reservations about it because my son was still young, and I felt like I was being negligent. But I was like, no, it's a means to an end. Just stick it out.
Right.
And to make things more interesting, I found out I was pregnant with my daughter 2 months after I enrolled. And I was like, we make plans and God laughs. So I stayed in school, though. I finished up on time and graduated. Once I got my license, I was like, okay, I'm going to go work at a salon, because they tell you in beauty school, if you want to own your own salon, it's probably going to take you about 5 to 10 years. Like, you start off as like a shampoo girl, work your way up to a junior stylist, become a lead stylist, build up your clientele. Then maybe if you're lucky enough, you'll have your own salon. And I was like, you guys are crazy. It's no way in the world I'm going to quit my corporate job to go be a shampoo girl. Like, a shampoo girl is not going to pay back these loans.
Right.
So I had a plan to start at a salon, but it didn't work out. And I had already given my 2-week notice and said that I was leaving my corporate job. So I was like, well, what am I going to do? I turned to Craigslist. Craigslist has been great to me. You gotta be careful. You got to be careful, but there's some diamonds in the rough in Craigslist. So I turned to Craigslist, and I saw that there was a salon closing in New Jersey, and they were selling some of their equipment. So me and my boyfriend got a U-Haul, drove out to New Jersey, met this girl who had the stuff in her basement. We bought a mirror, station, and a chair. And I turned my living room into a salon. It was the perfect opportunity because I had my daughter by then. She was a baby. Childcare was hard to find. I was like, what am I going to do? I already gave 2 weeks notice. Now I have no job. So I went online. I created my website. And it was like a Google form you had to fill in to, like, make an appointment. I could only work by appointment because I had my daughter, and my son was starting kindergarten. And it started off kind of slow. I would advertise on Craigslist as well. I got some crazy people sometimes, but it comes with the territory.
So how was it raising 2 kids and starting your business?
Interesting. To say the least. I kind of was like a stay-at-home mom and an entrepreneur at the same time. So there really was no work-life balance. You know, like if my daughter was like almost 2. So like if she decided she didn't want to take a nap anymore, but I was blow drying someone's hair, it really didn't matter. So it was like, I'm up. I'm ready to tear things up.
Right.
So it kind of was difficult, but I think anything you want, it's not really difficult. Yeah. Because if you have your eyes set on the prize, like whatever comes with it, just it's part of your story. It just makes it that much worth it. Yeah. So I did that for a couple years. No, I did that for 1 year in my home, and then I was like, "This is crazy. I can't keep having people come to the house. You know, we can't walk around the way we want to. The kids is like, why we gotta stay in the room?" Yeah. So I decided to rent a chair. I found a unisex salon. Yeah. And it was dead there.
It's in Harlem?
It was in Harlem. Okay. It was in Harlem. It was conveniently located because my son, like I said, was in school. So it wasn't too far from his school. And it was also in a basement. Oh. Yeah, I sure like to make things interesting. So with it being in a basement, not a lot of people knew it even was there. Like, people just walked past it. But I printed up some business cards. I made some banners. I would go talk to the people who owned the beauty supply stores in the area. I would stand outside sometimes and just like talk to people. I was like, I got to build my clientele up. I got to do something. Yeah. In the interim, I would be in the salon making wigs. It was like, okay, you can't get people to come and trust you to do their hair if your hair is looking crazy. Right. So because my life was crazy, being a mother of 2, a girlfriend, a business owner, trying to figure things out, and with my eyes set on wanting to own my own salon, I was like, the last thing I'm thinking about is doing my hair. So in hindsight, I realized I spent more time making wigs than I did doing my hair, but I could change my look up in a day. Wow. And so if I felt like I wanted to be a redhead tomorrow, I could be a redhead, and then I could get attention from someone who maybe wanted color. Yeah. I did that for close to 2 years, renting the chair, and then I opened my own salon. Nice. So what they told me would take me 5 to 10 years took me under 3.
Wow. Wow, good for you.
Thank you.
So, wow, that's crazy.
I love my story.
Yeah, I can tell.
Erica, tell us, who does your hair?
Me. I do my own hair.
Did you do your hair today?
I did my hair today. It's like a blessing being able to do your own hair, but it's a curse because unfortunately, it's very difficult to find a good hairstylist. Like, and that's just not even only my opinion. Like, that's from the mouths of my clients.
Yeah.
Like, the stories they tell me before they even make it to my chair is upsetting to me because I'm so passionate about hair.
Right.
And I'm so passionate, especially about natural hair. Now, I'm not a natural Nazi.
Yeah.
I have clients that have relaxers as well. Like, my goal is just healthy hair. I just want people to have healthy hair. When you feel like your hair is healthy and is strong, you don't feel intimidated to try different things. You don't feel intimidated to try different looks. If you work in an office where maybe there's a certain look that they're expecting, if you know your hair is healthy, you're not even bothered by that. It's like, I got a good set of, like, I got some good strands in my head. Whatever's going on does not even matter. Like, I'm sure with guys too, like, if y'all got y'all shape up or, you know, like, y'all looking good, y'all feel good. But for women, I just feel like a bad hair day for us is like, it feels like a bad life. Like, it's really not even just a day. It's like a life. Like everything can be offset from waking up and feeling like your hair is not behaving properly.
So do you feel working in the corporate world that you could wear your natural hair? Do you sometimes you feel a lot of women wear their relaxers to keep up to that, you know?
I think it's mixed. I think that it's getting better.
Yeah.
I definitely think it's getting better, and it's more welcomed now than it was, let's say, 5 or 10 years ago. But there's still, it really depends on where you work.
Right.
Even if I find, even with my clients, even if they do wear their natural hair or a natural hairstyle, like something that's curly, they want to tone it down. So like something like what's on my mannequin, not so much. They're not necessarily ready to walk into the office with that. It's like, that's my weekend hair. Yeah. So I think it's mixed. It's getting better, but it depends on what position you're into. Because if you have no one to answer to and you want to wear like a curly fro, it's like, who's going to check me? Yeah. Like, I'm going to wear what I want. But I think a lot of women are gearing more towards like a straighter look or something that's maybe not big or pulled back, but our hair is just, most of us, our hair is naturally big. If you have curly hair, most likely it's big. So one thing I think I struggle with is that no matter how confident I can try to make somebody feel about their hair, it all lies within them. But I express that to my clients. Like, I'll tell them if they're scared to do something, I'm like, it's your own fear that's holding you back from this. Like, an example is like crochet braids is a hairstyle that I do where someone will have the same look that I have now, but their hair is braided underneath. Right. So it's a protective style. It's something to protect their hair and like help it grow out while still maintaining a different look. Right. And I always tell my clients, like, when we're done with this, your hair is going to be big. And they're like, okay. And I'm like, no, I'm serious. It's going to be big. And then they get it and they're like, oh my God, it's so big. I look like Shaka Khan. And I'm like, you do not. But then just sleep on it for a couple days. It'll go down. But then within hours to days after they leave the shop, I get text messages. It's like, oh my God, I got so many compliments. Everybody loves my hair. I'm like, I told you. You should have listened to me.
So do you only cater to women? You do guys' hair as well? Because I looked on your website, a little research, and I'm only seeing women in
I
hair.
like research.
I'm like, what's going on here?
To be honest with you,
you don't twist any brother's locks. What's going on?
I do. I have one solid male client who has been with me through the trenches.
Yeah.
I think that's because a lot of guys, y'all are not going to search for a hairstylist the same way a woman is.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
It's kind of like, wake up, and I mean, you'll correct me if I'm wrong, but it's kind of like, wake up, look in the mirror, I probably need to get my locks retwisted, but you know what?
Yeah.
I could wait till next week.
Yeah.
And then next week turns into next month.
Week, yeah.
And then it's 2 months, and then...
For women, you guys can't wait, right?
No.
Yeah, got to get it done.
No. People aren't going to look at a guy with locks who needs it retwisted the same way they're going to look at a woman who needs to go get a hair done.
Yeah.
So I have that one solid. I'm not opposed to doing male clients' hair. Okay. But I think that because I'm appointment based and because you do have to kind of dig for me, I don't have a lot of male clients. I have a few, but I work by appointment.
You work by appointment.
So like with guys, it's like I said, I think y'all a little more impulsive. It's more like I woke up, I'm going to go get my hair done today.
They'll make an appointment and cancel.
No.
Oh,
Nobody
okay.
makes an appointment with me and really cancels.
Oh, okay, I thought that's what you were trying to.
I'm fortunate.
Okay.
No, I think that maybe they'll go on my site.
Yeah.
And because I work by appointment, they'll be like, wow, she doesn't have anything till next week. But I want to go today.
Okay.
And my solid one client, I think he's a little spoiled though, because he'll text me. I don't even think he checks my site. I don't even know the last time that he booked on my site. He'll just text me and be like, hey, Erica, it's about that time. And I'm like, I have an opening on this day. And he's like, let's do it.
Yeah.
So and he comes like maybe every 3 months. I find that a lot of guys you have locks, right?
Yeah.
I find that a lot of guys who have locks don't necessarily love the newly fresh retwisted look. You guys kind of like it when it's a little fuzzy. So I'm not opposed to them. I mean, if they're watching this, then they should come find me and get their locks retwisted.
So
and my dad has locks.
You go by appointments on your website then?
Yes.
On your website, okay.
Yes. I only work by appointment. And honestly, I don't know how other salons do it. Like, I think most salons don't work by appointment. Or if they do,
just walk in
yeah,
and
just
see who's
walk
next.
in and see who's next.
Yeah.
Or they pretend to have an appointment for you.
Oh,
but
that's how
then
it
you
goes?
sit there
Oh,
for hours watching other people get their hair done. I don't do that.
Why would they do something like that?
I can't tell you.
So you would sit there and they would see you sitting there and
Because they're doing someone else's hair. Because
Oh,
they've
okay,
overbooked
gotcha.
you. Like
Oh,
they
okay.
told you to come at 2 and they told her to come at 2. But whoever walks through that door
At
first
first.
is
Oh.
going to get in a chair. I can't do that. Like, I would be dying a mini death in my head if someone was sitting for 2 hours watching me do someone else's hair.
Oh, okay. So that what happens is that when you got everyone really coming in at 2:00, it's like, well, I'm doing this person's here, so now you got to rush this person's job to get the other person inside.
Right. And then the person sitting in your chair may feel like
Feel
that.
that way,
Like,
yeah.
Because then when they're done, they're gonna be like, let me go check it out. I want to
Yeah.
make sure she didn't
I
just
know.
rush through. I can't deal with that. So I only work by appointment. It's private. It's me and my client. It's therapeutic for me. It's therapeutic for them. I always say, and I'm sure other hairstylists will agree, we're like therapists. Like, people tell us things they don't tell their best friends.
Right.
So it's private. It's a private setting. And even though it's just me, I work almost every day.
I was
Like,
gonna ask you, do you have any employees?
no.
So it's just you.
It's just
Wow,
me.
Look at you.
It's just me. And I'm so excited also because the end of this month will mark my 4th year of having my salon open. And it's basically been me by myself for the whole time.
Wow.
And I travel,
hard
like,
job.
I have 2 kids, like, I have a man, so, like,
Are you working all the time?
yes, because I own a business. You're always working when you own a business.
And when you're not, owning the business, you're a full-time mom, and that's a full-time job in
Exactly.
itself, right?
Exactly.
And how do you advertise your business again?
I'm just gonna move this over just a little bit so I, can see it.
Sure. I have a Yelp page.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that you have a Yelp page.
That's about it.
I've seen people leaving feedback.
They love me, don't
yeah,
they?
Yeah, no.
I love them too. That's about it. Like, I mean, I have my Yelp page. I have, my social media. I have my Instagram.
Yeah.
I have my Facebook pages.
And then sometimes people word of mouth. People
Sometimes.
people get good service from you, and then they go and tell.
Sometimes my
No.
clients don't always want to share me.
Really?
I know.
Why not?
Right? Like, because I've been told from their mouths, and this is several of them. It's like, well, if I tell so and so about you, well, what if I need an appointment and you booked?
Oh.
And I was
they're not
like,
gonna get their hair done.
right? And I was like, wow, it's a little bit of hating, but
They want
I
you
could
all to
dig it.
themselves.
Yeah,
That's
I'm like, I
themselves.
could. If it makes me feel good, I'm like, wow, you don't want to share me? Okay. They're like, well, I found you,
And
so
it's kind of like a compliment. But
yeah, it's a
nothing
compliment,
for
but it's
business.
like, okay, thanks, guys, I guess. Like, but I'm like, okay. They're like, well, I found you, so they should find you.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
What would you say is your hair specialty? Like, what are you really good at?
Natural looking protective styles. So sew-ins, crochet braids.
Yeah.
Those are my specialty.
Fake locks.
I don't do them. I don't do them that often.
You gotta go to the Africans for that.
And they look. A lot of them look horrible though.
They say the Africans are really good at doing hair. I don't know. Is that
I don't know
true?
about fake locks.
They're the best.
I don't know. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna throw them in a category. But a lot of people who come to me
Yeah.
who are just like stressed, have been to the Africans and like they've lost hair. They're suffering from traction alopecia.
I think they say they do a lot to do it really tight. Really
they braid
tight.
really tight, and that's something that I don't do.
Okay.
I actually can't even fathom how they manage to do that. Like my clients laugh at me, but I'm like, when they tell me things like that, I'm like, how can you be someone braiding someone's hair? We're on top of your head.
Right.
And almost everyone's scalp is light.
Yeah.
So if you're braiding someone's hair too tight, it turns red. It's what I call angry scalp.
Yeah.
So it's like if the scalp is turning red, something's wrong. Yeah. There's irritation, it's tension, but it's a dual problem on both ends, because I tell my clients too, because there's certain services I don't offer. So I'm like, listen, I don't do box braids.
Okay.
We're not going to spend that much time together. We just not. We're not going to like each other if we sit for 8 hours and I'm braiding your hair.
Yeah.
That's not the experience I'm offering.
Oh, box braids take 8 hours?
Possibly.
I think the fake locks, a friend of mine, he had fake locks on. It took like 6 hours for that to get that done.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
Yeah, it's a long time to spend with one person. And like, the person getting it done is like, oh, I've been sitting here. I'm like, but I've been standing here. Yeah. So I don't offer box braids. Yeah. But I'll tell them, if that's something that you really, really want, I can either do crochet braids and give you the look, and it's less tension and it takes less time.
Right.
Or if you are going to go to an African hair braiding shop, then you have to also take care of your hair. Like if you know that they're braiding too tight, tell them. Yeah. And I get it. Like some people are in a chair and they're like, but this person's doing my hair. Like I don't want to offend them. And I'm like, but do you want hair? Like, do you want to have hair when you leave there? So just tell them that it's too tight.
Yeah.
Like tell them. And then once it grows out, like maybe like every 3 weeks, you have to go get the first 2 rows touched up, because your hair grows out. There's a lot of false hair connected to your hair. And if it's too much stress on it, it's going to fall out. So like I don't even only provide hair services. Like I tell my clients how to take care of their hair. Even if you're not going to sit in my chair, I just believe in paying it forward. Like if you're not going to come to me ever again, you can never say I didn't equip you with the knowledge for you to have a healthy set of hair. Like you may move, like anything may happen, but I'm like very communicative with my clients, and like I love my clients. Like I think that's why they love me.
And you're in Harlem, right? You're looking at Harlem?
Technically, I'm in Washington Heights.
And what made you choose that location?
I didn't choose that location. It chose me.
Okay.
What does that mean?
If I had it my way, I would have been in Harlem still. But while I was searching for a retail space for my salon, I looked at several places in Harlem.
Okay.
And some were just like not renovated, just gutted. And like I remember a time I went to see a place with my dad, and he thought I was crazy because they were offering 6 months free on the lease. And I was like, ooh, 6 months free on the lease, that's great. And my dad was like,
what's the catch?
It's going to take you a year to build this salon up. Like, there's no walls, Erica. And I was like, I know how to build a wall. Like,
wow.
I'll just be in here every day. Like, I'll find somebody. I know people who know how to build walls. Like, I'll teach them. There's a YouTube video for that. Like, I just wanted my salon so bad that it was like, no matter what seemed like an obstacle, I was going to come up with a solution. So I turned to Craigslist again.
There you go.
And I looked in their commercial space to see what they had, and I found the space where my salon is. And purple's my favorite color.
Wow.
So it was funny. I call up the number listed in the ad, and I go meet with the super so he can show me the place. There's one long purple wall. Everything else is like cream, beige, white. I'm like, this is an eyesore. But that purple wall spoke to me. I was like, oh, this is my salon. Yeah. Like, what are the chances that there's going to be one purple wall down here? And it was in a basement. So at first it was like, I was like, but I was working in a salon that was in a basement. And I only work by appointment. So women don't want passerbys seeing them get their hair done.
Yeah.
So that basement aspect worked for me. So I told them, I was like, listen, I think I can make this work. They wanted to know what business I would be opening. I was like, I'm going to turn it into a hair salon. And they're like, all right, just hurry up and get the application in. We're getting a lot of people asking about this. It's not going to last. You know, the typical will not last.
Right.
So I'm like, okay. I go home. I try to print up the application. It won't print. My printer won't print it. And I'm like, I have an appointment at the shop. I gotta go. It's Friday. I'm like, I gotta go. Can't be late, because if I'm late, I'm gonna be late picking up my kid. That's how my brain works.
Yeah.
So I leave and I don't print it. And I'm like, it's cool. I'm gonna submit it on Monday. It's cool. I come home and of course the application's on the floor. It printed like after I left. So I fill out the application. I show up Monday morning before they even open. I'm like camping out in front of the office. And I see the guy, like the assistant to the owner, go in. His name was Ling G. So I'm like, hey, Ling G, I got my application. And he's like, oh, Erica, I'm so sorry. We processed some applications on Friday, and we talked with someone on Saturday, and, we're moving forward with them. And I was like, what? Like, no. He's like, but, we can take your application and put it on hold because nothing's final right now. Like, we still have to come up with the lease terms and go back and forth. So if it doesn't work out, we'll keep your application on file as a backup. And he thought I was crazy because I was like, it's not going to work out with that person. That is my salon. Yeah. I claimed it. Me and God had a conversation. That purple wall confirmed it. And he was like, that's exactly what happened. He laughed at me like, okay, she's nuts. So I was like, I'm going to leave it to God. It is what it is. And by Wednesday, I was feeling kind of like, oh, man, why isn't Ling Jean calling me? Like, it's Wednesday. It's been 2 days. What's going on? By Friday, after I picked my son up from school, I went home and I saw my phone ring. And I knew their number. Like, I knew the number when I saw it. So when I answered, I'm like, hey, Ling G. He's like, hey, Erica. So I got some good news for you. I'm like, give it to me. I'm ready. He's like, it didn't work out with the other person. So we're going to go ahead and put your application in. And I was like, well, you might as well just start drawing up the lease. Like, go ahead, run the credit, do what you need to do. Yeah. I'm ready to open up my salon. So long story short, I got the place. We went back and forth on the lease terms. This all happened in July, so I signed in August. And I was juggling 2 places. So I still was renting my chair at the other salon while I was renovating my new salon.
That's crazy.
Very. But I didn't have sinks yet. Yeah. So I was like, how am I going to wash hair if I don't have sinks? And I had to maintain the clients that already booked me because I only worked by appointment.
So how did you do that? Would you just...
use
a bucket?
No, I didn't use a bucket. I was using the owner of the salon sink. I was like paying rent there. He came up with these like new rules on things we could and couldn't do in the salon. I felt like he really wanted me to leave. Like, and I was outgrowing the space. I probably was getting a little sassy because I knew I was on my way out. And it was Labor Day weekend, which was ironic because Labor Day weekend was also when I quit my job to do hair. So here we are, full circle again. It's Labor Day weekend. I paid him my rent, and he didn't give me a receipt. So I was like, he's like, hey, I was like, just leave my receipt in the drawer. It's fine. And he's like, well, I need to talk to you. Nobody wants to hear we need to talk.
Right.
So I was like, okay. And he's like, are you going to be free tomorrow? I'm like, no. Are you going to be free Monday? I'll be free on Labor Day. So I go in. I actually worked the next day. And something told me when I was done with my client to check my drawer. Like, something just told me to look in my drawer. And my money was there. So I was like, oh, you were going to tell me to get going, not even to my face, and you left my money in the drawer? Cool. So I packed up all my stuff. I took that money and bought a TV for my salon. And I left my business card. And I wrote on it, was understood, doesn't need to be discussed. And I left my key. So I kind of was forced to, now I had no sinks. I was like, what am I going to do? But I was like, I was sitting here paying double rent.
Yeah.
It made no sense. So what I did do, I told my clients, I was honest with them. I was like, listen, I can't stay there anymore. My sinks aren't set up here yet. So if you guys need your hair washed, I kind of can't service you until maybe like next month. Some of my clients were not having that. They're like, well, I need my hair washed. I'm not about to wash it. I'm not about to cheat on you and go to some other hairstylist. So what are we going to do? I'm like, okay, guys, let me figure this out. I go to Home Depot. I get one of those fancy faucets that are like censored and has like the little removable hose. And the guy who was like renovating everything for me, I had him hook it up in my bathroom in the salon. And I had a portable shampoo bowl. So that was how I washed hair until the plumbers actually came and installed my sink.
So what makes your business so unique?
Me.
Yeah. Oh, you?
Me. I'm a unicorn.
Okay.
And that's also from the mouths of my clients. I think the unicorn thing is like really big now, but it's funny to me because like 3 years ago, which was like after I had like newly opened up, I remember I had this client. She was in law school and she would come to me to get her hair done, and she was under the dryer one day, and I'm like threading needles for my next client that's coming to get a sew-in, and she just looked at me and she was like, you know, Erica, you're like a unicorn. And I was like, I'm thinking in my head, like, I don't know what that means. Like, I've never had somebody call me a unicorn. And I'm like, what? Okay. And she was like, you know, like, I heard of you, but I never knew you really could exist. And I was like, wow, that feels great. I'm like, what do you mean by that? She was like, I come here, I love getting my hair done. Like, I look forward to our appointments. You're on time. You're professional. And I'm like, these things are always compliments to me, but it still boggles me that I'm like, these are things that are so hard for y'all to find. Like, I didn't think that I tapped into some magical thing by being professional or by working by appointment, by being at the salon when I say I'm going to be at the salon. And when they tell me these stories about how they show up and the gate is down or they were knocking on the door and the person's like, oh, I'm not coming today. I'm like, who made these people? Like, to me, it's just my nature to show up to work. Like, I love doing hair.
Well, what's some of your responsibilities as a business owner?
What are some of them?
Yeah. Or what is some of the hardest, your biggest responsibilities?
Probably communicating with people outside of the salon.
Because you don't have to deal with employees. You know, you
I
just
don't.
by yourself.
I tried that.
Yeah.
It's
no.
not for me. Maybe the only way I would have an employee is if I wasn't working in the salon with them.
Well, I was an action because I was actually, you're here right now. Is someone, working in the shop right now. So the shop is basically closed.
Right.
Yeah.
If I'm there, it's open. If I'm not, it's not. So like, when I am there, I know, like, if I can tell when somebody's coming downstairs to my salon. I mean, I have cameras.
Yeah.
But I can also just tell, like, I can hear it. So when I do, I'm looking like, you ain't on my schedule, who this? And because I'm in the Heights and there's not a lot of braiding salons or places for people to get their hair braided, sometimes people will come down and they're like, oh, I just want to get some braids. And I'm like, you gotta make an appointment.
So why don't you have employees? Is it because people can't do it like you, or just you save more money by not having employees?
The way you said that, people can't do it like you.
There are pros and cons to having employees and not having employees.
There definitely are. I think if I had employees, I would feel like I was an employee because I would be working for my employees.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is like you said, like right now the shop is closed.
Yeah. If
I had employees, the shop would have to be open. If they have clients, then the shop has to be open, which means I have to find someone that I trust.
Yeah,
while I'm not there is going to do the right thing. And that's the biggest issue.
So it's a trust factor.
It's a trust factor because I take I don't do hair. You know, like I feel like now with YouTube and just like social media, a lot of people have ventured into doing hair. Like they're like, oh, I'm going to try that.
Right.
I don't do hair. Like this is my career. Like, it's funny. My man was making fun of me because I listen to videos like while I'm asleep.
Yeah.
Of like hair videos. He's like, he woke up one night and like just happened to look at my phone and was like, he told our son, he was like, your mom really like, she lives hair. Like I woke up and mommy was listening to a video of somebody washing somebody's hair. And I'm like, when you say it like that, it makes me sound crazy. But I do, because it's soothing to me. Like, things like that help me go to sleep. So, I say all that to say, the likelihood of me finding someone, I mean, if by all means, if somebody who I feel like takes hair as seriously as I do, finds me and we could connect and work together, great. But my attempts to do that so far, it was like the littlest things. Like, someone will call me and be like, oh, do you have a chair available? Right. And I'm like, oh, sure. Do you have your license? Oh, no.
Oh.
And I'm thinking, like, so why'd you even call me? Yeah. Like, because if I let you, it happens a lot in New York City.
Yeah.
But if I let someone who's unlicensed work in my salon, I could lose my business license. And I'm just not willing to take that risk especially when I don't feel like I have to. Like, I've been doing this by myself for 4 years, and I'm successful. You know, like, it works. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to break it, you know, if it's not broken. And the times that I have tried to, I just didn't see that professionalism from the person.
All right, before we wrap it up real quick, because we have to go.
Okay.
If you had some advice to give someone who's just starting out in the business, what advice would it be?
If they're starting out as a hairstylist?
Right, correct.
Find your niche. Mm-hmm. Like, the beauty industry is so vast. There's so many different things you could do. A lot of times, people's first thought is to do everything. It's like, I want to do everything. Find your niche. Like, find your niche. Find that one thing that you love, that you'll lose sleep doing, that you'll take classes learning, and focus on it. And just try to be the best at that. Like, don't get consumed or overwhelmed by, like, so many options that there are. Like, try different things for sure to find your niche. But once you find it, just hone in on that and focus on it.
Okay. And last but not least, how can people find you?
Social
media.
Yes.
Instagram,
the good part.
Snapchat, all this stuff.
Yes,
how can people let people know?
So my website is www.mixxbeautybar.com, 2 X's. And for my wig line and hair collection is mixtresses.com. That's mixtresses.com. Mm-hmm. My social media handles on Facebook, it is facebook.com/healthy hair by Erica. And on Instagram, I am _mix beauty bar, just the same way the website is spelled. And for the hair collection page, it's mixtresses. So mixtresses.
Okay.
Great, thank you.
Well, it's a pleasure having you today.
No, it was awesome being here.
It's great meeting you.
Thank you guys for having me.
Oh, no problem. So hopefully next time we have you again, you're having 3, 4, 5 shops open.
Maybe. Or maybe I'll just be like traveling the world, teaching other people some of my swag.
All right. Well, that wraps it up for another episode of Face to Face. Yours truly, Nesta Cann, alongside Alina Rizik. Take care and God bless.
Goodbye.